We're just waiting for the picture. Okay. All right, we have a picture.
Hello, everybody.
Good morning, friends. How's everybody today? We have no friends yet. Bethany's here. She's joined us.
Hey, Bethany.
Herb the Bear says hi. R says first. McGregor says hello.
How's the picture? Can we get a little closer? Better?
Yeah, that's a little better.
Okay.
Fan of all says good morning, Teacher Scott.
Good morning.
Hi from outside of McDonald's. That's Lynn the Chicken Nugget. I think that's kind of appropriate. Ellen says good morning. Book Lover says morning from Germany.
Good morning.
I'm a can of baked beans says, how is your day going?
My day is going pretty good.
Nixie is here. Autumn Rain says, good morning, party people.
Good morning.
Dalton says hello and good morning, Scott and Donna.
Hello. So I have been trying to figure out what I'm going to do with the hair. I tried on Monday a little bit of colored pencils, and I was like, I'm not 100% sure. I went back over it with some acrylic wash to kind of darken up, but it still has some light spots, like some shiny spots that I don't like. So I also don't know if I want the hair to kind of come over here, maybe cover up a little bit like that. I think, let's give it a shot. So that's essentially what I've been doing, is just trying to feel out the shapes. I think if I do that, it might be a little nicer.
Zoya says, good morning to all and to all a good night. I saw your post, Scott, and I just want to say I'm sorry about the video not doing well, but the videos really, really help young artists like me. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, you know, it's mostly a chance for me to normalize the feelings, because I know there are a lot of creators who feel that way, but they think that they're just being overly sensitive or whatever. And I wanted to normalize how that kind of feedback from YouTube hurts. I'm not devastated by it by any means, but it does hurt, and I just wanted to normalize that. I didn't want to just suck it up and move on. I wanted to at least get that out there so that way other people feel like, or other people understand that it is normal. Blow dryer. Big shiny spot. I don't know what to do about that. That happens from time to time with gouache, and the only thing I can think of is it's some of the I forget what it's called, the stuff that's inside of the paint tubes that keeps it from drying up. It's like, I don't know what it is, but I think sometimes that is the shiny bit, and I don't know what to do.
Several of our friends are sick today.
Oh,
not
no.
feeling well, but they're going to enjoy a live in spite of being sick.
Oh, good.
Steph Nerd is back and joining us. We have a hello from Czechia and an afternoon from London. And it's 8:46 p.m. in Nepal.
Fantastic. So I'm putting some acrylic wash over that. regular gouache that I just did in hopes that it is going to be less shiny. Let's see. Blow dryer. Look at that. It's still... So this is the kind of stuff that annoys me because it's like the paint isn't doing what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to be matte. It's supposed to be not shiny.
I have nothing to add.
And this is not the paper's fault, I don't think. Blow dryer.
They were asking about the paper. Is it that?
It's getting a little better the more coats that I put on it. So it's possible that some of the original black or whatever was in that black mixed in with the acrylic wash when I was doing the first coat, and now that I'm kind of covering it up. Blow dryer.
Okay.
It's getting a little better, see? So I think if I do enough coats of the acrylic wash over it, it'll eventually kind of wipe it all out. Let's see.
Do you recommend this sketchbook for a beginner watercolor artist? And I'm really sorry about your video not doing good, but it has helped me and a lot of people too.
Oh, fantastic. I don't recommend this for a beginner artist. This is I don't know. I actually didn't look them up.
They're expensive. They're like $70.
Yeah, these are like $70 sketchbooks. I wouldn't pay for that. I wouldn't have bought it for myself. I would recommend, at least for watercolor, spend $15 on the best watercolor sketchbook I've ever used, which is the Be Creative. That's my personal thing. These are beautiful, and I would love to walk around with these in my hand, but you know, it's not a $70 sketchbook. I can't justify that. Maybe I'm just too cheap. I don't know.
You are.
I'll never know. If only someone would tell me.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the hair.
They want to know who you're drawing.
Oh, this is just a model. I paid to download. I paid for the rights to. You go to ArtStation and you can get models.
Is there a link on the resources page for that?
Yes, there is. Not to this particular one, but this is the model
but to
right here.
ArtStation.
Yeah, to ArtStation. And if you go to the resources, there's photo reference, I think, is a thing. So, all right. So if we were going to do this, how would we do the hair? There is the way that I did the centaur. So I could do the centaur hair where I just do the little blue. By the way, look at the difference in size. Can you see that? How small I was working on the centaur comparatively. Or I could do colored pencils, kind of like what I was doing here with Kiss, which is a little more designy and whatnot. I'm not sure. Let's see if I was to...
In case you haven't noticed, I'm just letting him talk through this whole process today so you can get the full idea of how he works.
So my problem with this is simply that there's still this unevenness of the paint.
Someone had a good idea for a video, a breakdown of comic book art, or how to create dynamic panels,
Oh yeah,
which
that
was
would
a
be
really
fun.
good idea.
Yeah.
Lots of people are saying Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. See, I don't like that. Okay. So.
Do you think it's advisable to draw every day to improve, even when you're starting to feel like it's a chore and might eventually despise it?
Yes, and it's funny that you mentioned that because I got recommended a bunch of videos on YouTube that said why you shouldn't draw every day. Why telling people to draw every day is bad advice. And I was like, oh, no, 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 no. So I started making a video about that, which I will either post today or tomorrow. But I think the problem that people have with getting burnt out is because they're drawing the same thing over and over again, like usually their original character or stuff out of their head. And you don't really learn very well with that. You have to draw everything. You have to learn how to draw shapes, and you got to draw paint, a thing of paint or a car or a house or a cat. And you got to get used to drawing things in different lighting settings, things at different perspectives. I think that is where people are missing that connection of learning. And once you start to see the world, and you start to look at the world, and you start to explore the world visually, it gets very exciting. And so I think that's what we need to start doing.
What if you tried adding purple or deep pink into the hair?
Yeah, I'm. There's gonna be a this'll look nice once I figure that out, and I need to.
Grimace Shake says, Scott is my inspo for hair. He taught me hair doesn't always have to be accurate and can just flow and be ethereal instead of stiff and messy. Thank you so much, Scott.
Oh, my pleasure. And just so you know, I learned that from Alphonse Mucha and from Art Nouveau. We no one originated that. I'm sure Alphonse Mucha got his inspiration from somebody else, and so on and so forth. But I'm glad it was able to help.
They want to know why you don't like glitter.
Why I don't like glitter? Mm-hmm. I'm not particularly fond of mediums where you have to be there in person to appreciate it. Glitter doesn't scan well, just like gold leaf doesn't scan well. And because of that, it doesn't really suit my purposes of someone who posts their art online.
If you are a beginner artist, should you spend more money on watercolor or the paper?
Paper. 100%. Blow dryer. Tried that, not really loving it, but I will give it a little bit more of a chance to figure itself out. So I'm just trying, so I tried squiggles with the lines, with the colored pencils. Now I'm trying kind of like dots. And if that doesn't work, then I could try the thing that I did with the centaur. And that's how I figure out the texture of things. Sometimes I've done it before and I go, oh yeah, this texture I do this. Other times I go, I haven't drawn afro hair enough times with gouache. Like if I was doing it with ink, I've done that enough times to where I know how to do that. But with gouache, I just haven't done it. I've done it a few times, but not enough times to have a real like this works all the time kind of thing. And so I'm going to experiment until I figure it out. I like the shapes that I'm creating, but I don't like the texture. And until I could find a texture that makes me happy, I'll just keep painting over it and try again, paint it over it and try again.
You're putting a lot of medium on the paper. How is it holding up?
Let's see. It feels pretty warped right now, but let's see. I mean, yeah, it's holding up. I don't think it's possible to ever have it soak through. I think just the paper is going to be way too good to let it soak through, but it'll warp with all of this. But hopefully with it being pinned down, it will retain its shape for the most part. Okay, so I don't like this. I could give it one or two more tries. Let's come back in with some blacks.
A couple of people would like some ideas on what they should draw.
Well, Donna would say
a red panda.
A red panda.
But people are probably tired of that, so why don't you offer something different?
Go out and draw a car. I know cars are not fun to draw for a lot of people. So take yourself out of your comfort zone and draw a car. Draw several cars.
Lula from the Tea Foundry says, Happy Valentine's Day, sweet Savas and mods. Hope your day is full of sweet treats and lots of tea.
Oh, thank you. And the same to you.
Right back at you. Eric is here and says, good morning, everyone. Big hugs.
Hey, Erica, blow dryer.
How are you, Erica? Hope you're doing well. I hope you're painting something fun. I haven't seen you post on anything new that you're painting. But I hope you're painting or doing something fun.
This is just a blob at this point. There's just nothing.
Rachel says, Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Chaos says, but maybe you could try using glitter just for the fun of it. You always say we should go out of our comfort zone, and this seems like a great idea. They nailed you on that one. Let's see. Drawing in algebra is the best. Just don't get in trouble. There is a video on the Hobbit hole. Is it pinned to the top?
No. Just type in Hobbit Hole Sava.
Yeah.
In YouTube and you'll find it.
And then you can see the studio, Astro. There's a whole video on it and how we put it together.
So I'm just thinking, I'm considering the acrylic markers. I'm considering a flamethrower.
I have matches upstairs.
Yeah.
Drawings are bad in art class, but they're actually good in algebra.
Yeah, that's true.
That sounds accurate. Just got here. I was doing schoolwork, but I watched Scott when I need a break from school and stress. His art makes me want to explore with my art.
Oh, that's great. All right, so what do we got here? We're going to use some more jet black. This is acrylic gouache. So acrylic gouache will not lift up once it's dried. Gouache will.
Hitomi says, good morning, everyone. Scott, an idea. Draw characters from Jane Austen's books.
I have. I've done lots of Pride and Prejudice for Donna. That's her favorite book. Blow dryer.
Hitomi follows me on the other thing, so they know.
All right.
Astra says, your eye video helped me so much. Thanks from India.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad it helped.
Some art guy says, it feels like you've somehow improved in the past weeks. Even the unfinished product is stunning.
Oh, thank you.
The tiny Glade video was so cute. Already missed the sheeps.
Oh, yeah. Good old Gilbert.
Yeah, there's a lot of you asking about the Discord. Our mods that help us here also help run the Discord. And so if you can't get in, just wait. They will have it open at some point, maybe over the weekend or throughout the week, and you can agree to the rules and then they'll let you in.
Blow dryer. Time to pull out the acrylic markers and see what I can do with that.
Oh, Eric,
we're
I'll
gonna
have
try
to
this
check
one.
Facebook.
Oh, good, I did do this. Okay. So I can shake it.
Nixia says, he's frustrated with the hair when he starts noodling the face again.
All right, so we're going to try this color in the hair. All right, here we go.
In acrylic?
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Yeah, a lot of you got snow, huh? We actually did get snow yesterday, early in the day, like from the night before, which was crazy. It went from 62 to snowing in like 48 hours.
Yeah.
So it was a little crazy. Love Song Melody's favorite medium is alcohol markers. They perfectly fit my cartoonish style. Froggo never gets tired of the red pandas. It's hard to get tired of a red panda. They're so cute. And just so you all know, when we went to Puppy Bowl on Sunday, all of the puppies got adopted, which was phenomenal. I was worried. There was one puppy that I was holding that was very small and smaller than the others, and he got adopted too, which was very exciting and a huge relief.
All right, so this isn't working. Darn.
Pubali is a 15-year-old beginner artist and is afraid to color their art after inking it. Do you have any suggestions?
My suggestion is work really small. Work really, really small. Like small. So you can get used to coloring your work. If you're working on a very large piece and you're afraid to ink it, it's totally understandable because you spent a lot of time inking that. Work on something that only took you half an hour to ink and color it in. And keep doing that over and over again every day until you're like, I got this. I can color a bigger piece. That's what I would do. That's what I've done. You don't just start off with a large piece and go, oh my God, what happens if I don't like the painting, if I don't like the colors? I got to the point to where I've done it so many times where I'm like, coloring's the easy part. I'm never worried about coloring because that's the easy part. And you got to get yourself used to that. So practice on some smaller pieces until you can feel happy about that.
Love Song Melody also says maybe scan it in and print it to color it first.
Yeah. The problem with that is if you're doing watercolors and you've inked it onto watercolor paper, if you're just doing markers, then yeah, scanning it in or just making a copy onto other paper is fine. But it's the paper.
Let's see. Oh, Ellen had a great idea. Take a picture of it, and then you have a reference to use or trace if you do mess up.
That's true. Blow dryer.
That's a good idea, too. Ellen's always coming up with good ideas.
All right, so we've tried colored pencils, we've tried gouache, we've tried acrylic markers.
Acrylic gouache.
I haven't done acrylic gouache yet for the hair. I've just been doing the black, but
I thought you said you did acrylic gouache.
I'm using acrylic gouache for the base, and then I've been going over it with these other things. The question is,
Jamie Brown is here.
Hey, Jamie Brown. Hope you're feeling better today.
Sketch Rush says, which country do you live in and which country would you want to live in?
I live in the USA. I have not found a country that fits all of my needs. And so, not that I've traveled to a lot of them, but just, observationally, I haven't. I would want a place warm. I would want a place with a beautiful beach. I would want a place that has universal health care. I would want a place that's not racist, that's friendly to LGBTQ, and affordable. And I think that is a fairy tale place. So, yeah.
You've just described a utopia that doesn't exist.
I know.
What's your favorite tea? That's for you, not me.
I think it's Donna makes me the berries decaf. Is black tea?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Let's see. Kermito says, Happy Valentine's Day, my favorite people.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Do you use a voice changer in your shorts?
Do I use a voice changer? No, this is just a bad microphone. Here, hold on a second. This is the microphone that I normally use. Does this sound more like me? Donna's using that microphone.
Also, he's puts on a big act when he's doing his videos. So
yeah, I get to write what I'm saying, and
it's very scripted
and I keep telling you guys, in real life, I'm not really that interesting.
He's really not. I live with him.
All right, I'm going to try, instead of squiggly lines, I'm going to try dots, I guess. Gosh, I know.
Zevry says, whoa. Yeah, sounded different, huh?
Yeah. My friend James Arnold Taylor helped me pick out a good microphone.
When I want to color a piece, I use a window as a light board to redraw / re-ink, so I have a copy of it.
Oh, that's a good idea. I still don't like that either. Darn it.
Void says, Scott, your videos always help me remember that art is a process and not everything goes the way you want it the first time. Thank you so much.
Or the second time or the 12th time.
Today's tea, I'm drinking the Tuck Box tea. It's a proprietary blend from the Tuck Box in Carmel, California. So I'm drinking that today. Brewed incredibly strong, like you can stand a spoon up in it. That's how strong it is today. Hitomi says, red pandas love playing in the snow. They do indeed. Well, they're from the Himalayas, so they love it when it's cold. Ryan says, we've had super sunshine this week. Let's see. Warm in his classroom by the window in the sunshine. I go to an art high school and I'm still struggling to find my style. Any tips?
I would look at artists that you like. Study the masters. Look at that. Try to take little bits of each of those artists. Look at the video I did called My Art is a Mosaic and see how my style is based off of all of these other artists. Blow dryer.
KPHHH, what kind of books are you looking for? Art books? Books for reading? What are you looking for?
So we're still trying, people. We're gonna find something, and I think I've done this where I've worked on the same piece for weeks, just going nope, wipe it out, till I find the look that I want. And usually it's I wouldn't say it's by accident, but it's usually just I happen to hold the paintbrush a certain way that day, and that kind of worked out, or I just tried a different medium or material or whatever. So that's what I'm doing is I know to just keep throwing stuff at the wall until something sticks.
Like spaghetti.
Yeah.
What do you think about people who do art for money? I personally think art is not for money. Art is your feelings.
No. I think most artists hate having to make art for money, but I'm making art for money. It's gosh, I make videos for money. We have to survive. We live in a capitalist society. We need money to live, and so I think any artist who's able to make art and make a living from that is truly blessed. There are artists who are absolutely, they love getting assignments and they love pleasing the client. And then there are other artists who just want to do their own thing. And every artist is different. Every human is different. And it's just a matter of, there's no right or wrong to art. There really isn't. Blow dryer. Still no. I like being able to see the flow of the. I'm going to try something different. I'm going to try this teal in the hair and see if maybe it will be so insanely weird.
Amy McKenna says, I'm back. Have we decided on what we're doing with the hair yet? Nixie replies, nope.
Nope.
Yeah. We're just struggling away with hair, and by we, I do not mean me. So, I'm just drinking tea. Start with Scottish breakfast, Steph. But that's always going to be my choice because that's the better of the two for the morning. But then again, you're talking to somebody whose cup is as black as the paint Scott is using, so. Moxie used to teach at a zoo, and people would be disappointed when the red pandas weren't out in the summer. They just wanted to sleep inside in the air conditioning and had more fun in the winter. Yeah, people don't understand that animals always have access to indoor holding, and that cracks me up. And they're like, why aren't they out? Well, let's see. They can be panting and sweating out here with you, or they can be frolicking in the air conditioning. Yeah. We're going to go with frolicking in the air conditioning. Any tips on maintaining inspiration for art?
No, it's a lifelong challenge. I do it every day. That's why I give myself things like 60 Days of Studying the Masters or the Hair Journal or the 90s music alphabet. You've got to make your own entertainment, make your own interests, and it's tiring, especially when you're 55 years old. So it's. Oh, now I'm going. Well, what if I do this? And I start making these a little bit more like dreads. God, I can't figure this out, people. I know there's a solution here somewhere, but I'm just not feeling it. So this is one of those situations where I would just walk away, shut the book, and come back another time. But since we're live and it's only been 30 minutes, let me see.
What else do you have in your bag of tricks?
I don't know. Let me cover it up again.
Apparently Scotland is a really friendly country.
But it's cold.
That's why they invented wool.
Yeah. I'm half Sicilian and half Assyrian. So my people come from very southern regions, very warm regions. I don't have the thick skin that a lot of you people do. I need warmth.
So I'm going to pose this question because nobody else has. How many times are you going to work this one particular spot until the paper gives out?
It won't give out. I'm adding layers to it, so if anything, I'm making it stronger because there's 6 layers of acrylic wash on that one spot. Blow dryer. Okay, I'm gonna do the centaur hair. All right, we're gonna try that next.
Do you remember how you had made a video on paintbrushes? Well, I found a camel brush and it is less than, there's a dollar sign, and so far it's good and I've been using it for almost a month. That's Pranav.
That's great.
Maybe try a different pattern.
Yeah, I'm gonna try the thing that I did for the centaur. Let me get rid of this stuff which is in my way. Which is
Ellen said something I wanted to read.
this is not so.
The lines look too parallel. They aren't wrapping around the head enough. That's Ellen.
Yeah, maybe.
Sign of Horses says, work on something else first, Scott. Perhaps it's not a hair day today.
Every day is a hair day. I could do this. Okay, blow dryer. Watch this blue come to life. Okay, that wasn't as come to life as I'd hoped, but
Ryan says, just know that Vancouver in the summertime has been known to get hotter than Saudi Arabia. Are you going to bring back October?
I don't know.
Did you do a tutorial on how you got the glow effect on your dragon? I need this effect in my journal and I have no idea how to proceed. That's Lula from the Tea Foundry.
That was quite simply just adding the effect of the glow to the objects around it. So on the top of the lid and around the eye has that glow, and then slowly making that orange go down to a red and then to kind of more of a purple. And I think that is how it looks. Otherwise, it's just white and yellow in the eye. That was pretty mundane. It's the effect that glow is having that makes it look so cool.
They said maybe circles in the hair instead.
Yeah. So this is the reason why I didn't want to do this is less afro textured and more wavy, and I didn't really want that.
Does acrylic wash reactivate with water also? Mark would like to know.
No, that's it's just like acrylics. Once it's dried, it is permanent. And that's why it's really fun to use in some spaces, because it is, once it's down, and I like that.
Do you have any websites I can use for free reference images?
Yes. Just go to my site, and there's a link under resources for photo references, and there's free and paid. So yeah, so this is just not, this is, I like the color, but I don't think wavy is the thing. I think if I go over this, cover it up, and go back and try it as, I don't want to do dots, but try to make it a little bit more of an afro texture, I think this might be it. So we're getting there. We're getting there.
So are we blow drying? What are we doing?
Yeah, I gotta do one more layer.
Okay. But we're not blow drying yet.
Yeah, I gotta cover it up one more time.
Ren, he is actually using paint and layering right now. What if you did a sheer layer of deep purple with watercolor and then did the hair design?
A watercolor won't even be seen. Watercolor is way too transparent. And this would have been so much easier with watercolor and ink. It really would have, just because I've got so much experience.
Ryan says, people like us don't say this often, but I think you're having a bad hair day.
Yeah. Oh, that's great.
That was a good one, Ryan. That was a good one. Danielle says, I'd love to see flowers or jewels in her hair or a red panda on her head. Erica says, love it. Every day is a hair day. LOL. How much gouache on top of gouache is too much gouache? Because I'm pretty sure my paper is tearing up below whilst I watch you paint.
I've like I said, I've gone probably 20, 30, 40, 50 layers of redos and redos and redos on some of my paintings that you guys would have never known. It's the paper is, good paper is resilient. It is. So I don't think, I genuinely, as an artist, one layer is the best. I want it to be right the first time. For me, it just never is. I always wind up reworking. Blow dryer. All right, let's try it. We're going to try.
Which is your personal favorite art piece?
Spring by Sir Lawrence Amatadima.
Do you like to paint abstract things from time to time?
No, not particularly, no.
Scott used a water brush a long time ago. They're asking if you could please try it and give your thoughts about it.
What?
A water brush. Remember those plastic brushes you used to use when you were doing the gray,
inking?
the gray scale?
Yeah.
They want you to try it and give your thoughts on it. You know who uses those a lot, who might be really good? Ashley uses those. Ashley Braven.
Yeah.
She uses those a lot.
Leslie Strauss does as well.
Does she?
Yeah.
Gail says not braids, but maybe locks. Thick locks.
Yeah. See, this isn't really much different than what I was doing with the colored pencils, though. And I wasn't really thrilled with that.
You're doing this too many times. Step away, man.
Yeah, I know. I would, but then the live would have only been 30 minutes long. So I'm trying to... I could be working on this, but here's the thing. And this is just me knowing myself. If I can't get the hair to work, I'm going to be upset that I spent any time on this part here. So I don't want this part to work and then I can't get the hair to work. So I have to solve this problem before I could do the rest of it. This part should be fine. I just need to solve this problem. My thinking is, I guess my gut is thinking that there's a kind of splotchy pattern that I could do. But every time I've tried it, it hasn't looked very good. Let me blow dry this.
I mute him when he's blow drying. That's why soft. It's more silent because he's muted when he's blow drying. Amy McKenna asks, how would you recommend cleaning and drying your brushes after use?
I don't. I don't. I'm the worst person to ask about that. I'm sorry.
What's your favorite color?
Payne's gray is my favorite color.
What do you do when you want to draw, but you don't know what to draw, or your art doesn't work out how you want it to? I just tossed an unfinished drawing in the trash. LOL.
I will always go out and draw what I see. That is the best thing I think for you, is to just do that. And then the other thing you could do is to go to a museum, study some masters is always a good thing. You can give yourself a challenge, like I'm going to fill up a sketchbook worth of Harry Potter stuff, or I'm going to do a musical alphabet. You know, those are just little challenges that you give to yourself.
What color gouache did you use for the centaur's hair? I really want to pick it up from the art store.
It's cobalt blue gouache. I can get the...
Why don't you divide the hair into smaller chunks? I guess it will help in detailing and give you the proper flow. It works for me. That's Mahesh.
Yeah. Doing that always helps. It's just, for me, there's a universal texture that's going to work throughout that I have to come up with first. And then I could find the shapes. But blow dryer.
Scott did go to art school. He went to Academy of Art in San Francisco. He'll say it depends. It could be worth it. It depends on if you're really going to study. He was not a student when he went to art school.
Okay, so see this splotchy kind of look? There might be something there, like if I came in with these blues now into some of these parts to kind of give like a little bit of a highlight. It's possible that might be a nice look.
Tommy says, watching this is very suspenseful, wondering what hairstyle this painting will end up with.
Yeah, you know, it's funny because a lot of times it's suspenseful for me too. I'm like, I have no idea what's going to happen. And that's always kind of interesting with art. It's also frustrating too, but I think it's more frustrating for me just because I feel like I'm letting you guys down. But I know that's not how it is. It's just, there's always a little bit of pressure when you're doing something live. Blow dryer.
We do like Wallace and Gromit.
Okay.
Lynn the Chicken Nugget says, hi Scott, I have a question. Do you ever feel obligated to draw? I know YouTubers have it differently, but do you feel forced to draw even when you don't need to?
I think there is an inherent guilt that we have if we don't draw, especially for a long time. But, you know, I've learned to let go of that guilt on a day-to-day basis where I go, you know what, I'm going to take a day off. I deserve some time off. If you're doing it for a job, like kind of like what I'm doing, where it's like, well, this is kind of my life now, then yeah, you do have to have that sense of responsibility that says I've got to create, I've got to draw, and it's not a bad thing. It's really not.
Simply Sarah, there's a lot of videos on hair in the Art Hacks playlist, so you can start there, but obviously you're watching him struggle with hair right now, so you're not the only one.
Yeah.
Is there another painting you could do? Sometimes it's good to take a break from painting and do another for a bit. That's Unknown Gamer. They basically are like, whoa, Scott, settle down here. You need to stop.
I don't know. I think it is, so long as I'm not boring you all, I think it's good to keep going on this. There's potential. There's potential.
Shannery says, what watercolors do you recommend?
I like Winsor & Newton.
Gail says, maybe move on to the body and leave the hair for off camera so you can give it a good think without it causing frustration. Ellen says, eventually you'll get the right hair texture just by the number of paint layers with a laughing emoji.
Yeah. Eventually, it's my theory. It's the million monkeys at a million typewriters. Eventually, we'll write Shakespeare. That's my theory. So, this is my million monkeys.
When you go out to paint, what are some of the best type of places to go in your opinion?
I like a place that is not too hot, not too cold, not too windy, not too crowded. So that way I could just sit in peace and set up and paint. I liked, or at least I used to like, sitting in like a nice restaurant that has a nice look to it and sit and eat and sketch. And but really, it's just finding a place that you're comfortable. I find I don't paint as well when I'm uncomfortable.
You don't paint, period, when you're uncomfortable.
Yeah.
This person keeps asking, why is the subreddit gone?
Oh, I felt bad because I wasn't able to maintain it. I just don't go on Reddit enough, and it really, people were posting art, and I wasn't able to come in and comment, and I just don't. I joined Tumblr, and I've got Instagram and Facebook and a Snapchat and so many things that was the one that I just felt like I was giving the least amount of time to. And so I still drop into Reddit from time to time, maybe a couple times a week, just to see if anybody posts anything and I could, say something nice or whatever. But
Geek Artist Fanboy's here and says, no longer on TikTok. I haven't gotten any notifications about your art.
Oh no, I've been posting several times a week, just as always. It's just TikTok. Just ignore TikTok. That's what I do. I post. I'm posting onto YouTube, and then I take my YouTubes and I post them onto TikTok. So you at least YouTube for the most part will give you notifications.
Let's see. It may have been asked, and I know it has, but who are your favorite artists?
Drew Struzan, John Buscema, Alphonse Mucha, Sir Lawrence Alma-Tadema, J.C. Leyendecker.
You should paint some stuff from Lord of the Rings, like Treebeard, Gandalf, Frodo, or other characters.
I have. They're
Yes.
all there's a video where I did a whole sketchbook filled with them. So this isn't it either. Boy, this is a conundrum.
That's a big word for a Wednesday morning.
Yeah.
Do you guys have plans for Valentine's Day?
No.
We're going to try not to kill each other today. That'd be a good idea. Valentine's Day is always too expensive to go out or do anything. The day before and the day after are better.
Isn't the day before Galentine's Day?
Yeah, but you're not my gal, so that doesn't count for you. What brushes do you use for your paintings? They seem very durable and easy to work with.
They're not. This is Utrecht. I have Winsor and Newton. I'll use whatever's cheap or on sale, honestly.
Alan says, I think it's good to see you struggling.
Thanks. I love you too.
I think they just feel normal.
No, this is good.
I
I think if I make a video about it, I am going to call it a bad hair day.
think that's a good idea. There you go, Ryan. We'll feature you on the thing. Ryan says he's got a bad hair day. Since you got early access, what is Tiny Glade being released on?
Steam. Yeah, it'll be released on Steam third quarter, so that's like end of the summer, early fall.
Glowbean wants to know what animal they should turn into a xenomorph.
Cheetah.
Nicole Vanderpool says aloha and good morning.
Hello.
And Ellen thinks that you are the embodiment of the definition of insanity right now. Smile asks, Scott, I have no idea what to draw anymore. I'm a school student and haven't been drawing a lot because I'm always tired. Is there any art things you do that don't take a lot of energy?
Yes, I keep a sketchbook and I just draw the world around me. I will draw my shoes, I will draw the water fountain, and I just fill my sketchbook up with all of that stuff. And then I just give myself little notes about what was going on that day. And then I'll look back on that a year from now and I'll go, oh yeah, I remember that day. Oh yeah, and it's really cool. And also you get to practice drawing everything else.
Reen Sari Art says, oh my God, this is gorgeous.
Well, thank you. It's
Minty Trash says, hi, you're a huge inspiration in my art journey and I love your portraits.
Oh, thank you very much.
They have a more cartoony art style and absolutely adore the volume and beauty of the hair in your portraits.
Thank you. Except for this one, right? Because this one is really... you're killing me, Smalls.
Yes, Bethany is a friend of ours. A very good friend of ours. And yes, we have a TikTok. Well, Scott has a TikTok.
You have a TikTok too.
It's fine. You can find all of the socials listed on all the socials. So if you go to his community page, everything's here.
Yeah, if you go to
You'll
click
find
on the
it.
About. Yeah.
Yeah, everything's listed there. You can almost clearly see Mooka's influence on how you draw hair.
Yeah.
That's argument inspection.
I love drawing hair, and I used to draw hair very realistically, and then I discovered Mooka's work, and I went, ooh, I like that. It's got, like, you can create really cool negative space. Like, I'm looking forward to filling this in with some really fun paint colors, but I gotta first discover how to do this. Blow dryer.
Okay, fan of all, you're making me laugh because I don't know why you'd cry. You're here, you're commenting. Of course we're going to respond. You're kind of funny. I always think it's funny when you guys like type in the chat and then get all excited that we respond because of course we try to respond to as many as we can. Rinsari says, and this makes me want to keep showing up to the blank page. Indie Kitty sent you a tip.
Oh, thank you.
It says, paint someone with different shades of gray hair. I have salt and pepper hair. I never see that.
Oh, yeah.
Accurate. 100% accurate. I feel your pain. Not represented. Scott's been asked to draw characters from Percy Jackson for a while. Maybe at one point. Marta is very stressed about high school because they don't know if some serious men in suits will like my art and let me into that artist school I want to go to, and if I will have good enough grades to pass.
Yeah. School is always stressful.
Yeah.
And, just know that regardless, schooling is so far in my rear view mirror, and I would say 99% of everything that I am as an artist, I learned after school. So don't put so much weight on that. I mean, obviously do good in school, do the best you can, but it's just a foundation that will help you, but it won't break you if you can't get in.
And don't let it take away your self-worth because somebody doesn't like something that you drew or somebody said you weren't good enough. It doesn't mean anything. You have to know in your heart that you're good enough, and you are. Just the way you are, and I know it sounds corny and whatever, but you are. You are good enough just the way you are. Your art is good enough. You're good enough as a person. You're good enough as a student. Grades are, unless you're doing a, math problem, grades in art are incredibly subjective. And your art is your art. Appreciate your journey. Kitten says, I am worried that I'll lose my motivation to keep going.
Well, it happens. It happens to all of us. It really does. What I do is when I lose my motivation, I just do little stuff. Like I said, I'll go outside and I'll sketch. I'll do stuff. I think a lot of people equate, they think that every time that they make art, it has to be a masterpiece. It has to be something that's going to get hung up on a wall. And I don't think they remember that you can make art that is just a sketch. You can make art that where you're just learning or you're studying. That's art. So you don't have to do that.
Thank you, Mr. Clock. Would you say your art is realistic or just semi-realistic?
I think my art started off realistic, and I've been slowly trying to pull it away from realism. I've tried in the past to do more caricature stuff, and I just don't feel like it really was improving my work, and so I think my work is still a little realistic, but I think I pull it away from that through my color, the hair, things like that. It's a little too, it's more realistic than I'd like it to be, is I guess the best way to say it.
What would you like it to be?
I'd like it to be more like C.F. Payne's, work.
Really?
It's like the portrait that he did of Obama for Time Magazine was stylized and yet still realistic, and I've always liked that. I want that, but I think with my outlines and a lot of the stuff that I do, it's no one thinks that it's a photo, and that's really what I'm after. Blow dryer. Okay, so this needs some definition. The question is, do I do it with what?
I don't like C.F. Payne.
He's a very nice person. Why would you say that?
His art. I don't like it. You've showed it to me. You love his art. There are just some things. I don't like the caricature style. I never have. I've never liked it. I don't like it. I'm throwing that out there.
To what point? Why did you feel the need to say that?
Because I feel like you comparing yourself and wanting to be something like that when your art is so beautiful as it is irritated me. And so I don't think you need to approach somebody else's type of art. If you want to take pieces of it, like you always say, I think your style is beautiful as it is. And I felt like it was derogatory. And it irritated me. Yes, I think you were being derogatory towards yourself, and I didn't like it.
I was just answering a question.
Well, I didn't like it, so I'm putting it out there. I mean, and again, art is incredibly subjective, so if somebody else likes it, that's fine. I do not. Jolene wants to know, do you agree that if someone didn't get good grades in math or science, they won't do anything in life? That's what my teachers say.
What? Well, introduce them to me. I mean, I'm not the pinnacle of someone who did something with their life, but I was horrible in math and science. I mean, and so many people are bad at math and science. If everybody was good at math and science, we'd have a bunch of genius nerds walking around curing cancer and whatnot, you know? This is not a, that is something that not everybody is good at.
And that's what people say. STEM is being pushed very heavily right now.
STEM is what?
Science, technology, engineering, and math. As opposed to arts. STEM is being pushed very, very much right now.
And I think
that's
the
why
people,
the teachers say that.
I think the people who are good at that are going to be good at that. I think the people who aren't are not. And, you know, people just have to be okay with that.
I think the problem is that it is not okay for students nowadays to say, I don't want to have my, focus be all math or all science. I want to work with my hands. I want to do something else. It's very much focused on there is one path for kids to get to.
It's really not like as in 1987, 88, 89 that we were, told, oh yeah, a career in arts is the way to go.
No, we weren't.
So it's nothing new.
But we also had auto shop and wood shop, and we had a lot of other things that they no longer have today.
Yeah.
I took a home economics class in middle school.
I took a typing class.
They don't offer that either. These are like basic life skills. And there were a couple of kids that the boys went to school with who one kid was so adamant, I'm going to be a mechanic. I'm going to set up my own auto shop. I love working on cars. This is what I want to do. And I looked at that kid and I had watched him grow up over the years and I was like, good for you. He knew what he loved, what his passion was. People will always need their cars fixed. There's nothing wrong with doing that instead of focusing on math or science. You need somebody to come and fix your plumbing when it breaks. You need somebody to come and fix your electrical when it breaks. Everybody has a different path, is all I'm trying to say. And I don't think that should be discouraged. They're still wondering when you're going to be done with the hair.
If you're bored, I could turn off the live.
They're like, wait, is this the hair that's gonna actually stay? And Misty says, nobody knows. He could swipe it away at any second.
Yeah.
That's 100% accurate. Please listen to our mods. They know.
I'm feeling it out, seeing if this is something that I would like. I think I like the blacks and kind of the hints of the shapes. So I'm just, like looking at where the shapes that were created from the little dots, and I'm kind of emphasizing them. But I'm thinking that maybe these around here should be a little bit less emphasized.
When you draw from reference, where do you keep your reference at while you're drawing? Phone, iPad, or print the picture? Also, do you use reference when painting or just for drawing?
It is, can you guys see it?
Yeah. There you go. It's on
It's right there. It's
tablet.
on like a little tablet. And yeah, I'm looking at it for the painting. Really, I mean, I'm not looking at it right now because I'm really just trying to figure this out. But
you look at it for shadows and...
yeah, mostly for the drawing. And so I think I like...
Can you share advice for me to improve my human figure sketching and drawing?
Yeah, there's a series I did of shorts, and there's a playlist for 1 minute figure drawing. Try that. That is going to help you get your proportions and body shapes and everything really quickly. And you just do that and practice that, and I think you're really going to improve.
Letter Lady Z says there was a rising STEAM focus adding art into the mix. That's good because there are studies that have proven that if you use both sides of your brain, that it's more beneficial to students. So if you have art and you have, the math and all of the other things that go along with it, you learn better and you're a more well-rounded person.
I saw a TikTok video where someone was, saying we need artists, we need designers, otherwise we're gonna get stuff that looks like this. And they showed the Tesla truck.
Oh, the
You know?
Cybertruck.
Yeah, they're
It's
like,
so ugly.
You. This is what happens is that when you don't,
When you let an
encourage
engineer
art.
design
Yeah.
something. We need art in the world. We need creative outlets in the world. We need room for people to expand their minds by doing that. Frago says trade schools are so important to the world. Imagine if there were no plumbers. It's true.
Yeah.
It's 100% true. Sweetberry says, I thought at first when the live started, the woman looked flirtatious, but now she looks like she's side-eyeing someone. AMK Cons just drew one of my first animal art pieces. I'm very proud. However, don't know how to color it. Do you have any tips?
It depends on what materials you have. Do you have markers? Do you have colored pencils, watercolors? What do you have?
And also, if you want help with animals, Scott did 30 Days of National Animals.
Yeah.
So there's feathers and fur and all sorts of things. You can check that, and maybe that'll give you a little bit of help too. Let's see. I love your digital videos. Can you do more of them? Would like to see someone struggling just like I do.
Sure.
Will you finish this painting today?
Going into it, I thought I might, but there's no way, no way I'm going to be able to finish it today. I don't even know if I've solved the riddle of the hair yet.
The mods can put a link to the Discord in, but it won't be open until, later. So, let's see. Jamie says, yeah, I think it's terrible they don't have typing or many other life skill classes taught in high school anymore. Yeah. Scott, if I wanted you to see my art, where should I post it? Reddit, Discord, or question mark?
The Discord is good. Just tag me so I can see it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's see. Hi, Scott and Donna from Ireland. My dad just got his old record player fixed, and when I saw it, I thought of you.
Ah.
Oh, boy. Shanry says, hi, Scott. Hi, Donna. What is Scott doing with the hair? I'm a little lost. Is it shading or texture for the hair?
Yes. It is. It's mostly texture. Okay, so can you guys see? Is this in focus enough?
Yes.
Can you guys see this part right here?
Yes.
That's beautiful. That's what I want. I really like that. It's just this wonderful, just impressionist kind of something. But that's what I do. Huh?
That's outside of the piece that you painted over.
Yes, yeah. But see, I don't mind these to start it off. But if I could recreate that throughout, I think it would have a lovely texture. But that's what I'm doing it for, is to just keep doing it till I'll see a little spot.
A glimmer.
Just a little bit of that and go, like you guys don't remember the old Fantastic Four movies with Chris Evans, where he's like, he is like, imagine this, but all over. That's what I'm thinking. It's a little purples, a little blues, and a lot of magic, and that's what I'm trying to recreate. I'm like, okay, I don't know how I did that, So now I've got to keep doing something similar with my hand to hopefully find out what combination of purple and blue and what direction was I going. I know I was using a bigger paintbrush. So just to find out how to do that. And then once I've got that, okay, now I've got the pattern. Now I've got the plan. And so it's just that little bit. I went and looked at it and went, I like that. Okay. I don't hate that. This is let's do more of that.
Okay. I like that / I don't hate that.
Yeah, yeah.
Lula says, oh, how I love that. Now that you moved it, we can see it. It was reading as a kind of weird reflection before.
Yeah. It's
Art Kari says, this is my first live stream watching, and he really does take his time to do the hair.
yeah. Well, had I done this with ink and watercolors, it would have gone much quicker. It really would have. But this is very unique hair and very. I wanted to solve it in a very unique way.
Okay, so my favorite tea right now, Sketcher Side Art is asking, is I've been drinking a lot of the Tuck Box tea from Carmel. It's a proprietary blend, and there's a link in my Donna's recommendations page. There's some tea links there. You can't buy it online. You have to actually physically call them and order it. Don't ask me why, but they are not there yet. So. But it's worth it. It's really good. Jam says, the only time copy paste comes in handy.
Yeah, yeah. This would be wonderful if I could take that and create like a Photoshop brush or something like that with it. But, once you get that, it does become kind of relaxing a little bit.
Yeah, you always seem like you're on heightened alert until you get it where you want, and then you sort of like your shoulders kind of come down a little bit, and then you sort of seem like you're playing. Cookie says, Scott, I'm trying to brush up on skills on drawing fantasy elements like knights, horses, dragons, and castles for school. Have you any tips on how I can practice efficiently since the school thing is soon?
I would, for me, everything is photo reference. So there are photographs from different museums that you can look at of different knight armor and whatnot. And but Google and copy, Google and copy, Google and copy, and just fill up sketchbooks with all of that stuff till you kind of figure out what works for you. Okay, so I'm going to see if I can make that, if I can replicate it on this part here. I'm going to blow dry.
Okay, hold on. Thank you, Simply Sarah. We are trying to reply to every comment. There are a lot of you here, so.
Okay, now this is really subtle, but can you see the purple? See how nice that is?
Angle it a little more towards you. Yeah. That is nice.
Isn't that? Yeah. Now I'm going to come in just with the highlights, but more towards the center here because it's going to go, it's wrapping around, so the highlight's going to follow right around here.
I am not a fruit tea person. Although I will tell you there is one particular ginger peach tea that I really like. Republic of Tea has a ginger peach tea, and there's another blend that P.F. Chang's has that's a ginger peach tea that's really, really good. And those are hot teas. I don't drink drink iced tea. Yeah. Well, I mean, I do, but only in the summer. So that's a really good one that I like. Again, I'm not really like into any of the berries or things like that. I do like a good peppermint tea though. And the Good Earth has a really good cinnamon spice tea, which is really, really good. Oh, and Trader Joe's has the winter warm-up tea, which is really good. That's cinnamon and cloves and all sorts of spices. So, hi, Scott. Could I see what reference you've been using?
Yes. This is the reference I've been using. You can see the hair. And I wanted to try to capture that somehow, and I think I'm doing it.
Let's see. Simply Sarah says, I love how Scott helps, and Donna replies to every single comment. And Scott is a big inspiration for me, and I feel more motivated and glad with my art.
Oh, thank you.
Jillian says, watching this is a superior form of therapy. I'm not sure if it's a form of therapy or if you'll need therapy by the time you're done, but we'll take it.
But it's you see that there's now something there. There's something unique happening in the hair that I didn't have before. Let me blow dry.
Hold on. Go ahead.
I think I'm gonna go in with purple.
Victor says, yeah, we see it. It looks really nice.
And I'm gonna get rid of some of these black bits here, so that way it blends a little better. Because I was really trying to figure stuff out with the black lines, and now I realize I don't need it as much. So I'm gonna go over it with purple, and hopefully that will soften it.
Art Kari says, you've stated that you have enough sketchbooks to get through another pandemic. How many blank sketchbooks do you have?
Oh, maybe 30.
He's got quite a few.
You know, I stockpiled the Be Creative ones because they were very hard to get, and I was afraid. It was like I found something that is my absolute favorite, and I don't want them to go out of business, and then I go, oh, I wish I would have bought more. So I bought like 12 of them, and I can only use like one every 2 years. It takes me a while to finish those, the travel ones. And then companies send me some, but I've given away probably 30 of them too. So I would have had 60. But again, companies send me sketchbooks. Like this one is from Etchr Labs. They sent me to try out.
Mm-hmm. We've been very fortunate that you've been able to try out so many different things.
Yeah.
Misty says, marshmallow root tea always makes me giggle. We used to tell the girls marshmallows grew on trees. Oh, God, that's funny. We used to tell our boys that the black and white cows were Oreo cookie cows and that the brown cows made chocolate milk. Yeah, we were mean parents. I know it's random, but do you like Bollywood movies?
I don't not like them. I've just never watched them.
And Sketcher Side Art says, I did the same thing. I have a huge stockpile of sketchbooks. Do you prefer painting men, women, or other?
Men are easier to paint. And so I think I challenge myself a little more with women. So I think I tend to paint women more because it's a bit more challenging, a bit more interesting.
And you happen to like drawing women.
I don't like drawing women as much as I like drawing men. I think I drew guys throughout my adolescence and,
Well, you drew your
college
own
years.
You drew your
Yeah,
own
my
characters.
original
You drew
character
the muscles
and whatnot.
and
Yeah. I mean, I would just, my room was filled with bodybuilder pictures and this and that. I was obsessed with, muscles and all of that. And so, and superheroes. And so I think I am at the point where I'm like, okay, I did that enough. But man, there's a part of me that wants to, do the muscles again and all of that stuff. I think also there's a part of that really kind of co-opted with a very misogynistic, toxic masculinity kind of thing,
Mm-hmm. That was the era.
The era, yeah. I mean, I reread John Carter of Mars, which was one of my favorite books, and it's just, Deja Thoris was always just helpless princess, and he was just this. But there's so I think I've shied away from that because the world didn't need more art and whatnot that glamorized that. But I do miss it. I do miss it.
Art Car says, opposite here, have not painted a woman in my entire life.
Really?
Have you ever painted a book cover?
Oh yeah, yeah. I've done comic book covers, movie posters, album covers. I've gotten to do a lot of that stuff, which was really, really cool.
This person is asking if you've ever had sleep paralysis. I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, we all have sleep paralysis. I mean, otherwise we'd be acting out our dreams. It's when you dream, your brain shuts down your body movements, so that way you're not kicking and punching and. So that's
Okay,
sleep
I
paralysis.
disagree.
Now,
You kick in your sleep, so.
now sleep paralysis is when when people say, have you had sleep paralysis, I think what they mean is, have you had that thing where you wake up and you can't move because your brain hasn't restored those functions yet.
Never
I
heard
don't
of that.
think I've had that. Well, I like stuff about dreams.
You do. I don't remember my dreams 99% of the time, so. Frago says, I think every artist has a sketchbook problem. It's an addiction. That is not just for artists. I have a problem hoarding journals, as I am sure Stefnerd will agree with.
Well, it took me an hour and a half, but I think I found the look for the hair. What do you guys think?
Waiting for people to say what they think. Minty Trash says, I'm trying to rediscover my art style after realizing I was taking it in the wrong direction for what I want to make. Do you have any input or advice on the issue?
There is no wrong direction. There is just where you are on your journey. You please, please, please don't ever feel that you made a mistake, that you should have done this instead of that. We do what we think is best with the information that we have, and don't regret those decisions. That's just a part of our journey. Whatever you were doing with your art, I'm sure is going to come back, and you are going to find that useful, or it's going to affect your art in a wonderful way down the line. So don't kick yourself for that, please.
They like it, or they love it, or they say it looks great. Bethany says, you took us around the world and back with this hair, but I like what you've landed on.
Thank you.
They think it looks beautiful.
I think it kind of feels like a little bit of Sarot, a little bit of Klimt, a little bit of Muka, like it's got a little bit of everything in it. Almost kind of feels like a nebula. Someone had mentioned that, I think, last week. Or,
They mentioned it
Monday.
earlier today, too.
Oh, yeah?
Priyanka says, hey, thank you for always supporting artists and encouraging them with all your knowledge and experience.
Oh, my pleasure.
The hair looks great. I'm so happy you found the right texture.
Thank you.
Awesome. Steph Nerd, I know nothing about a stack of unused brand new journals on my desk. What could you ever possibly mean?
Apparently you have more that Donna needs to send you, too.
I do. There's one more here, sitting here on my desk that needs to head your way. Ellen replies to Steph and goes, shh. You're funny. You're the reason I made art videos, and the other day I got 7.7 thousand views, and I'm so happy. Thanks,
Wow,
Scott.
congratulations.
And Shannery loves the texture of the hair. It feels so right and cohesive for her. And Nixie says, never doubted you for a second, Scott.
I'm glad you believed. Oh, All right. I think I'm gonna. That was stressful. So I. Can you guys see this? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as you're happy, we're happy.
Uh oh. That means Donna doesn't like it.
My opinion is moot.
All right. Well, I like it. I'm gonna either work on it more.
For the record, I do like it. It's been a long 90 minutes of watching you paint like one little tiny section of hair.
Yeah. That's art.
I know. The dimension the blue is giving is really cool. Blank paper, I have a lot of unused journals, but I don't really like writing in them, so they're just on my bookshelf. The texture looks great, says Gail. Gorgeous, yay. Is that cobalt blue, asks Melissa.
That's the cobalt. Here, I'll get the paint.
Shannery wants to know if you've heard of Stillman and Bryn sketchbooks.
I have. I tried them before. They're pretty good.
It's for all mediums, which I work in, but when I use watercolor and use a little more water, it rips.
Yeah, I that's why I like the Be Creative. They're cheaper and they're superior. This is the color that gives me that bright blue. It just pops. It's the color I used for the centaur's hair. It is really, really powerful. It's cobalt blue, and this is what it looks like dry. And so I'm using it. I'm just reactivating it with water. So it's dried, and I just reactivate it, and it comes out looking like that. I bet if I went straight from the tube, it would be even more powerful, but I think that's too powerful. Let's see what straight from the tube looks like. I'm going to do a little dot right there.
Autumn says, could watch you do a tiny piece of hair for hours. Love you both.
Thanks. All right, can you blow or mute for a second?
Yeah, muting.
Yeah, it's not any more blue than had I not done it. So yeah, reactivated seems to work.
Gail says, I've got to get me some of that. It's my favorite color.
Yeah. So that is reactivated. It's a lot waterier. I'm going to blow dry again.
Hold on. Okay.
But it's really cool. I'm gonna show you guys one more time. So over here, so watch how it goes from that. And I'm gonna blow dry.
Hold on. Okay.
Just stands out. I just like the way it pops.
All right. 2 more questions and then we'll pop off.
Did you unmute me?
I did unmute you.
Okay.
Gay3 says, I've been drawing anime for 3 years. Can you please say how to begin drawing real people?
From reference. Don't draw from your imagination. Draw from reference. There's a series I did of 1 minute figure drawing classes. Not classes, 1 minute figure drawing. Take a look at that. There's a playlist for that. Try that first. I think that'll really help you get your proportions and everything. And then just start working from reference. Draw people in, like out on the streets, at a cafe. Anything like that is going to help you so much. But I think a lot of younger people, when I was young, it was comic books. But younger this age is anime and manga. And what we used to do is I used to always just draw out of my head because that's what the great comic book artists used to do, and I thought that's what I needed to do. And what you need to do is you need to practice drawing real people before you can start drawing stylized people.
Okay, Ishvani says, I'm a big fan of this anime and then I wanted to create a book dedicated to it, but I don't know where to start it off from. Do I draw or do I write? I'm really very confused. Please help.
Write first. Speaking from a lot of experience in writing comic books and illustrating comic books, write first. Get to know your characters. Get to know who they are, what makes them tick. Who are they at the beginning of the story? Who are they going to be at the end of the story? How do they grow? What kind of clothes they wear, what kind of style do they have. Once you have all of that, that'll influence your art.
All right, so we're going to pop off now because we're at over 90 minutes. And you guys have a great day. Have a good Valentine's, and we'll see you guys on Friday.
Thank you for your patience with all of this. I hope it wasn't too annoying.